Guys, we're back. Finally, back at the station. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice, and everything I say is my opinion, and my opinion alone. We're back with the ecosystem updates here at the, I'll call it the station for right now. Great time being in Denver. I was there for about eight to 9 days almost. And now we're just going to be back at it, back here home in New York. So, real quick, just a small recap. Actually, not even really a recap, just kind of wanted to shout out this little dungeon running. You have Eli over here from the Arbitrum Foundation playing Pirate Nation as well as the Beacon here actually at the Arbitrum Shake Shack event that happened, I think it was, March 1st over there at Shake Shack in Denver. It was a pretty cool time. It was similar to kind of like my entire time at the conference in that like there was just so many people in the Arbitrum DAO community and just different teams that like I was able to kind of speak to like just like we talk online, kind of speak with them in person and to strengthen the relationship that we already have. I tell people all the time nowadays that like when I go to conferences, I don't do it necessarily to meet new people necessarily. It always happens, of course, but it's more so to like strengthen existing relationships that we already have and just keep on like empowering builders within the Arbitrum ecosystem essentially. So. It was a great time being in Denver, and I'm looking forward to the next conference. But I'm very happy to be here, back at home for right now. I will be heading to GDC relatively soon. So, yeah, it's my fault. I mean, for what it's worth, but it's nice to be home right now. We have a tweet here by the Arbitrum DAO. By the way, I forgot to mention that I put that tweet out earlier. But we have a tweet here by the Arbitrum DAO, and this is, by the way, a community-ran account, not by the official foundation. But they state here that the LTIPP application period has concluded with the 172 applicants. Lots of work for the application advisors and the council in the coming weeks. Very exciting stuff here. So if you're not familiar, I'm going to do a very high-level thing just because it's a lot to explain. Essentially, this is a long-term incentive pilot program that the Arbitrum DAO is running. More specifically, I think it's Matt from Stable Labs who's running this. Kind of like a follow-up from the short-term incentive proposal program, I should say, that happened last year in October. This time, there's a ton more applicants. 172 different teams have applied to join. You can see JoJo here actually mentioned that so far around, I think this was actually before it actually went through. So, this is a lot. This is actually a lot more now than he has estimated, I think. But he said so far around 20 proposals for each advisor, with another 40 to be split between us three. So if I'm understanding correctly, if there are three advisors, they're essentially going to be splitting roughly 50 plus proposals each. They're going through them and essentially it sounds like reviewing them. That's a lot of work to be clear. So shout outs to JoJo and the rest of the advisors. I think Immutable Lawyer is one of them. I'm not sure who the other one was, but it's definitely a lot of work. And I think they were not expecting this amount of submissions. Frankly, when I mentioned this, I think in the last update, there weren't that many. I think there was about like 40 or 50 or something. But in the last 2 days, there's been like an immense amount of people applying. So, and by when I say people, I mean, of course, teams that are looking for incentives on Arbitrum, of course. So definitely really excited for this program. And it's really excited, generally speaking, to see like how this one goes and how teams teams iterate upon this one. Because again, this is a pilot program. The idea is to see how this one goes, see if it addresses any of the issues that delegates and teams felt during the first one last year. And, if it works, my understanding is that they'll pretty much create an official long-term incentive program instead of a pilot. And it'll be a lot more money. Because I think this time around it's 45 million ARB. And I'm pretty sure these teams ended up asking for right around two to three times that. So there will be teams, I think, that just don't get any funding, of course, because of the amount of applications that were sent in. But the nice part is that this isn't the only one, of course. Very likely there will be multiples that follow after this one, and even more so, even more than that, hopefully ones that are different in scope and from different people. Obviously, we don't want to rely just on Matt from Stable Lab to be putting these forward. That being said, shout outs to everyone in the DAO for participating, JoJo and the rest of the advisors. I wish you luck with reviewing all these applications. It's obviously you got your work cut out for you. For what it's worth, they are getting paid as part of being an advisor, but anyways. That's great to see. By the way, if you're a project who didn't apply for that, stay tuned. Like I said, there likely will be more coming after that. But it's always a good reason to keep an eye on the proposals, or sorry, on the forums, and even these videos. I try to encompass a lot of these things happening within the DAO. Sometimes I don't get to all of them, but for the most part, stuff like this I'll usually get to. All right, we have a tweet by myself. I say, all right, this is gonna be a funny one. I think I'm just going to hodl all my Arbitrum meme coins until they either A, go to infinity, or B, go below zero. Selling anywhere in between feels like I'm mid-curving it. And yeah, this is what I said because this is how I feel. Like literally, I bought a ton of meme coins in December. I want to say now, like late December, and I didn't sell any of them. I sold some of them, and then they proceeded to pump like 3-4x. And then the ones I didn't sell, they pumped, and then they just have obviously bottomed out. But it does feel like now it seems like meme coin season's kind of coming back again on almost every chain, and Arbitrum of course is seeing some of that action as well. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I think the play here is like I'd almost rather just hold this stuff until like who knows, it becomes the next Bonk or what's the other one, a Pepe or something like that. You never know, to be honest with you. So I don't know. That's why you don't see me mentioning any tickers or names like that, because I don't want to I don't want to like shill or even tell anyone which meme coins I already have and like have it go to zero. It just looks terrible. I haven't bought any for what it's worth. I literally just have the same ones I had since December. It's just way too much. It was way too time consuming, and it's too much for my brain to process to figure out what to buy, what to sell, and when to do all that. So anyways, let's see. Hopefully meme season keeps going. Bitcoin and Ether are pumping right now. It's insane. So I guess it makes sense that there's a lot of activity going on within the degenerate kind of season, area, I should say, within crypto. Speaking of degeneracy, I did post a tweet here: unbothered, moistured, happy, in my lane, focused, and flourishing. Now I posted a tweet here, a picture of the Knowers NFT. I knew I had minted some of these way back when. I just couldn't find where. I found them again, of course. Like if I found which wallet I had them in, and I figured kind of throw one up because I liked how it looked. But more than that, even speaking beyond the Knowers, I'm really excited to see more NFT projects coming within the Arbitrum season. There's already a ton of like flagship projects like Small Brains, the Blueberries, Donkeys, etc. Knowers, of course, now as well. But I'm curious to see if we actually see a proper NFT season on Arbitrum, or even even if not for the ones that are currently on Arbitrum, like just seeing more projects launch. Obviously, there's a ton of NFTR going on and a ton of gaming going on. And occasionally you'll have like a week here or there where you'll check OpenSea, and there's like a bunch of it's like one or two collections that have just launched, and they do like an insane amount of volume. But I guess I'm more talking about PFPs, and it's possible it really only happens with like the OGs, like the ones that I just mentioned. But I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm interested in. Again, this tweet isn't me saying that I think the Knowers are going to pump anytime soon. I have no idea. But I do like I think it was K-Kaz that I met him in person in Denver. Great guy. And, figured when I give him a little shout out. Also, this guy looks slick, dude, right? What do you think? I mean, I was going to say maybe they should have used like the Nova logo here instead of just like an orange version of the Arbitrum 1 logo. But what are you going to do? Beggars can't be choosers, right? Beggars can't be knowers. That's a good one. All right, we have an actual serious tweet here by Tony Warstatter from the Ethereum Foundation. They say that most rollups post regularly over the slots of an epoch. Arbitrum prefers to post slots shortly after the 2/3 threshold. This is advantageous because blocks will get finalized in less time. Now here you can see essentially what Tony's talking about is essentially the times within an epoch that L2s essentially post batches. I should say post batches or call data or whatnot. All this to say, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I am not a gigabrain by any means. Tony explained it a little more here and why this may be more advantageous. And to be clear, the red in this case is Arbitrum, where Arbitrum is actually posting the actual blocks. Tony says that in this scenario, where 2/3 of the total validators tested within an epoch, all blocks until the most recent justified epoch are theoretically at risk of being reorged out. In this case, waiting for the current epoch to soft justify gives slightly more security. To get that answer right, though, I'd personally love to hear from Fredamt, who I guess is also from the EF. But essentially he's saying that from his understanding, because of the way Arbitrum essentially posts like over like the slots of an epoch, there's actually a lot less risk of like a reorg essentially happening on Arbitrum. Essentially, waiting for the current epic, as you mentioned here, to soft justify, giving it a little bit more security over what's actually posted. Again, very, very, very complex stuff. So if I get any of that wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But that's from what I understood from Tony. And AJ posted a great quote tweet here. I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. This is one of the goodies our research team thinks about that is just way too big brain for me, but I'm all here for it. Amen to that. That's exactly what I'm thinking. All right, we got a twosie over here, all about Senko. So while I was at ETH Denver, actually, I posted a live, actually me at ETH Denver, literally just like walking around with my boy Bellman over here, a recruiter at Offchain Labs, just like walking around the conference, just talking to people on Senko. It was actually really dope. We did it with an iPhone and like a little tripod, and it was actually very efficient. That being said, I think from literally as of making this video, my understanding is that I think VODs are now live on Senko. Someone commented on my last post and told me that. I'm not sure if that's true, but if that is, then this will also go on Senko, which is awesome. Speaking of Senko, I actually got the chance to meet Smoothie while I was over there in Denver. So yeah, shout out to Smoothie. Great to meet you, dude. I don't think he told me about VODs were going live. So I don't know. I gotta check. I feel like someone might be trolling me, but yeah, if it's live, then you'll actually see it on Senko. But nonetheless, Smoothie here says, EVM plus WASM, gas fees comparable to Solana, all native platforms with fee switches on, all burning DMT, gaming studio, Senko.tv social hub, and 1 million total supply. Senko mainnet, March 2024. Very, very exciting here. So Smoothie here is essentially talking about Senko chain, which is going to be built essentially using the Arbitrum Orbit stack. Very, very exciting stuff. Everything here he says is true. And I love the fact that like Senko guys are one of the few teams I've noticed that really pushes the fact that it's essentially a WASM based VM that they can leverage, right? With using Rust, C, C++, the whole stylus upgrade stuff. They're one of the few teams that I see mentions that, and it kind of makes me think that they're going to probably be one of the first that also leverages it. There are a few teams coming out that are actually planning on using stylus pretty heavily. I'm not sure if I can actually say who they are, but there are a couple that I know. But Senko is one of the few that I know is publicly speaking about it. Very publicly speaking about it. If you go to their Discord, like they're very bullish on it as well. So very exciting stuff. Yeah, again, you guys know I'm bullish on Senko, not financial advice. I have a little bit of DMT myself. Nowhere near as much as I should have, unfortunately. I think that thing like 5x'd over the weekend. But what are you going to do? Shout out to Smoothie, though. He's great to meet him in person. And yeah, I'm really excited to be cross-posting to Senko. Also, as well, I put out a tweet, but I'm not going to show it here. I want to start cross-posting this stuff to a Warpcast as well. Frankly, like, there's multiple places you can be cross-posting stuff to. Currently, I do it on X and YouTube. I actually feel like, so X feels like it's a lot more beneficial right now. On YouTube, it's good for discovery, but it's not good right away, which is fine. Like it's like when I post it, it doesn't get a ton of views, but that's fine. I'm not necessarily looking for that. But Warpcast and Senko would be amazing for this stuff to live on as well, just because both are on chain to a certain extent. And Warpcast in particular hits a different audience. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, just because I think they need to like essentially allow the protocol to handle 15, 20, 25-minute videos. And I don't even know how to even upload it there to begin with, but yeah, I got to figure it out. But I'm working on it. So if you are a user of Warpcast, or Farcaster, I should say, keep an eye out. You never know. And last tweet here of the day. I'm looking to keep these videos a lot shorter than I was while I was at Denver. I don't know why they're so long. I think it's because I'm starting to include every little tweet. So I might have to slow down on that. But nonetheless, Zygame says Web3 gaming is inevitable and has a picture of me. I literally became a meme over the past week because I think this was the first video I posted in Denver. And for some reason, I pointed at the camera. So, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm here for it, dude. I can't be mad. I kind of like it, actually. It's pretty funny. I don't look terrible in it either. Not terrible, but, not the best either. But still, I love it. Shout out to Sobi for posting that on the official Zai account, though, dude. Your boy has officially made it. Yeah, it's hilarious. This community is insane. That being said, guys, as usual, we're going to end it off with a shill of Beneath the Layers, a community-focused show dedicated to showcasing entrepreneurs in Web3 and telling their stories. Of course, hosted by your boy. You can watch the any episode essentially on YouTube, X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of those platforms that you like. and consume it there. Yeah, most recently we interviewed the CSO of Espresso Systems, like Jill. You interviewed Ellie from Starkware, G Funk from Pixel Vault, Ahmed from Proof of Play, and a ton of other people as well. So definitely take a look if you're interested. And guys, as usual, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.